moved on to another rivalry. We kind of started it because we had a bunch, like 5 guys from San Diego go to Arizona that year, and I told them, you should have came to Arizona, and I was like, well, you know, when we go 4-0, when I go 4-0 against you guys, we'll see who made the better decision. But it's all fun and games with them. So, but it's been fun competing against them at the highest, close to the highest level. So it's awesome. We have a great relationship.
Scott, how's the offense changed under Scott, do you think? Energetics he's been going into next season?
Philosophy is a little bit different. You know, we're really just embracing his philosophy, and he's gonna put us in the proper place to succeed. And you know, he knows what we as players were recruited to run, and we're gonna run a lot of it. So it's gonna be different, but we're gonna be successful.
How has this off-season plan differed under Fraley, Coach Fraley?
Oh, you know, for me, it's been the world different. I've never had a coach that has been primarily focused as a center. You know, Coach Clem is a great coach, in my opinion, and he taught me a lot about myself and about playing football. But for me, Coach Fraley is going to be a humongous benefit because he played at the highest level at the position that I played. He's already taught me so much in the short time we've been together, and I look forward to working with him throughout the entire season.
Hey, how important is it for UCLA to bounce back this year and get things going back in the right direction for you guys?
Very important. You know, we take pride in, you know, being a good football team. And last season, you know, we dropped the ball a little bit, obviously, and it was frustrating. You know, it was tough to go out there, strap up, and you know, want to play every week. But you know, we did it. We're ready. We're ready to go this year. We're ready to bounce back.
A lot of close games last year that didn't go your way. Is that the difference in this year, that you have to win all those close games?
Yeah, exactly. You know, obviously the ball bounces a funny way. It's the only one that doesn't bounce the correct way, and you know, we need the ball to bounce in our direction, but we can't keep it close. You know, it was close all of last year, but like I said, we're looking forward to this season and just bouncing back.
It's your first year without training camp in San Bernardino. What's that going to be like? Did you enjoy going out there and that process? Or?
You know, it'll be awesome. Our new building, the Wasserman building, is just magnificent. It's gorgeous, and to be able to be in that thing every day will be great. And everything's just going to be so concentrated. We're not going to have to, you know, waste time walking from point A to point B. Everything's just right there. You know, you got where we're staying, and then field, meeting rooms. So it's going to be fantastic. We're really excited.
What do you think were some of the benefits of the San Bernardino experience in your first 3 or 4 years?
You know, you kind of get to deal with, you know, the everyday morning of, oh gosh, like here we go again. But like, you know, and you wake up and you're like, okay, yeah, like we got to get ready for practice now because we got to get our mind right. And you know, I'll miss it, but at the same time, I won't. So
yeah,
it'll be good to be at home.
How do you think access to the fans is going to change during fall with going from San Bernardino to Wasserman?
I don't think it'll be much different. You know, I think we'll have our open practices and our closed practices. So I don't know what the schedule exactly is, but I think it'll be just around the same. And, you know, we'll have practices open to the public and some practices not open to the public. So I don't think that'll change much.
Josh Rosen came in with obviously so much expectation around him. How do you think he's dealt with that attention and that pressure?
I think Josh has grown tremendously as a player and a person. We're excited to have him back, obviously. And, you know, he's a world-class guy, a world-class competitor, and he's a world-class player. So you can't really replace a guy like that. And, you know, it's really, really good to have him back.
Elaborate a little bit on how he's grown. Like, do you think did last year humble him at all, or has he matured?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, anytime the game is taken from anybody, you know, I went through it my junior year when I sat out, and it was just, you know, you want to help the team so bad, but you can't. It's like you're in a straitjacket. It's just so frustrating. So I think he realized, like, how much football really meant to him when he wasn't playing, and he's ready to answer the bell and be our guy this year.
What are your expectations for him? Do you think he's going to come out and have a pretty big bounce-back season?
I do. I mean, I don't think my expectations are as high for him as his expectations are for himself.
Yep.
You know, he demands a lot of himself, and he's in the building every day working to get better, and it's great to see.
The run game was bad. There's no other way to put it last year. What was the low point? How difficult was it to be in the film room on Sunday watching you guys just struggle to make things happen there?
Yeah, very frustrating. You know, there's times where it looks like it's going to go the right direction, and then, you know, things just close up and holes aren't there, and it's frustrating. And you know, a lot of that comes down to execution and communication between the offensive line and the running backs, and so it's our job this season to, you know, execute the game plan, you know, 100% better than we did last year.
How much of last year's game film did Coach Fraley go over with you guys, or did he just kind of turn a new leaf and just focus on the future?
Coach Fraley watched every single game multiple times when he first came in, so he knows what kind of players he has and what kind of talent he has. And we watched it. Myself and him watched it together, and learning and where to get better and foot placement, hand placement, all that good stuff. So it's been great to have him.
In Moore's opening statement, I don't know if you're able to hit loudspeaker, but you talked about how important the offensive line is going to be. Are you, as a position group, starting to feel that?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously at the end of last season, that was the big question mark. All eyes are going to be on us this season, and we're up for the challenge. We're excited, and we're just going to come in, work every day, be humble about it, and I think we're going to have a bounce back season from last season.
He talked about the depth of the line, having to develop it. So I got to ask you about two players who would be part of the depth. One would be Akimbula. How has he grown? Has he grown enough since his freshman year?
Yeah, Alex has done a really good job mentally. He, as a freshman, he's a very raw player. He's only played high school football for 2 seasons, and he's just extremely talented but very raw. I think he could be a benefit to us this year, and barring anything that happens to him.
And how about Gio?
Shojima?
Yeah.
Oh, Sho's really smart. Sho knows a lot about the offense, the ins and outs. We talk about it all the time, and he's very smart. We'll see where he fits into the depth chart as of now, but I definitely think if something were to happen or across the board, he can play the inside. He can play every position on the inside. He knows them all in and out. So.
My assumption is he's a veteran who may not be as talented as some other guys, but with his experience, he can be a factor.
Exactly, and his knowledge, his experience and his knowledge. If you know the game and you can pick things out and see things, you can be a productive player.
What does it feel like when the coach says, basically he's saying the success is up to you guys?
That's a big burden that we're willing to bear on our shoulders, and we're like I said earlier, we're excited for the challenge and the opportunity to lead the team to success.
One other thing, kind of following up, you guys have gone through several changes in concepts. I've had line coaches say what you guys have been asked to do is really, really difficult. Have you recognized that? Yeah,
anytime you change coordinators and line coaches, it's tough. But I think this off season we've done a great job. We had a good spring. We had good summer within our player run practices, and we really dialed in the playbook, and we're really excited. And I don't think there's going to be a growing pain period. I think we're ready to go. August 3rd is our first practice, and everybody's itching to get out there and then progress towards the first game.
Scott, in a two-team town, you've been on both sides of where the rivalry is, say with USC, you've been up, and now it's down a little. Is that a motivator for you guys in the offseason, developing the culture and Coach Moore said the fact that USC is kind of on the way out?
Yeah, definitely. They have a good team over there. There's no denying that. They got ball players all over the place, a good offensive line, good quarterback, good leaders on defense, and but we have talent over on our side too. And although that game is far off, kind of always thinking about it, but right now we're not worried about SC until that game comes up. And when it comes up, we're going to be excited for the opportunity and the challenge to play one of the best teams in the Pac-12. And it's just going to be a fun matchup every year like it always is.
You're in a unique position where you're a fifth-year senior, where you've had changes in your position coaches. You have the same head coach going into all 5 years, you and Kenny Lacey.
Right.
You came up together, you played alongside each other, you fought, now you have to shoulder the load. What's it been like to play alongside the guys that are going to be upperclassmen and finally be the people that are responsible for protecting Rosen?
Yeah, it's been good. There's only, I think, 4 players from the 2013 recruiting class left. I think it's me, Kenny Lacey, or 5. Me, Kenny Lacey, Kwasi Walla, Eldridge Mashington, and Darren Andrews. So it's kind of crazy to see all of our, our incoming friends and when they were freshmen coming in, playing in the NFL or doing whatever they're doing now. So it's crazy, but we're kind of taking it upon ourselves to show them like we've seen both ends of the spectrum. We've seen 10-3 and we've seen 4-8. And we're some of the only kids on the team that have seen that. So we're trying to just tell them like what it takes to come back and be on the winning side of the ball again.
Have you gotten to spend any time with Sonny Ndogwu yet, and what are your first impressions of him?
I have. First, he's massive. He's humongous, and he's a very, very personable dude. he fits in great, has a great personality, and he can definitely help us in terms whether it's in the starting lineup or in terms of depth. You know, everyone's always battling, myself included, to be the starter, and we're excited to just go out there and compete and push each other to make everybody better.